Well, the US President expected to meet Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on Monday for their first face-to-face meeting in Washington. They're expected to talk about defence spending and a deal involving nuclear-powered submarines. This, of course, under the AUKUS pact. Well, that's a pact that China has strongly opposed. Maynard reports from Sydney.
Every year, Australia celebrates the role of the Royal Australian Navy in defending this vast nation. Since it officially received royal patronage in 1911, the Navy has seen action in 2 world wars and countless smaller conflicts. The courage and sacrifice of its sailors is remembered on Anzac Day, which also marks the valour of thousands of other veterans. The defence of Australia is arguably even more relevant today, with an ever-expanding Chinese Navy making its presence felt in many areas of the Pacific. It makes the meeting between Prime Minister Albanese and President Trump of crucial importance, with the AUKUS pact expected to dominate the talks.
Well, obviously, Mr. Albanese wants a firm commitment from President Trump to AUKUS Pillar 1, that is the nuclear-powered submarine program. So if he can walk away with a firm commitment from Trump, I think he can say mission accomplished. But that's the immediate task. The broader task, I think, is, in a sense, his stabilised relations with China. Now he needs to stabilise relations with the US.
And therein lies a delicate balancing act: how to keep Washington on side while maintaining fruitful economic ties with Beijing.
China has, I think, strategic and operational objections to AUKUS. And AUKUS is right now Australia's biggest defence procurement project. It's just absorbing so much resources and attention. On the other hand, as you said, of course, Albanese would want to keep China on side as an economic partner.
Monitoring developments from our office in Canberra's Parliamentary Press Gallery, veteran journalist Michelle Grattan is one of Australia's most informed political observers. She believes there's a lot at stake when Mr. Albanese and Mr. Trump get down to negotiations, but their personal relationship will be the key.
Anthony Albanese and the President have had several phone calls. We've been told that they've been constructive, but nothing surpasses that face-to-face relationship.
Much depends on these talks going well, not least the long-standing military alliance between Australia and the United States.
Australian governments and prime ministers have always had this mantra that we can enjoy the economic relationship with China as our major trading partner and the security benefits of the alliance with the US. And they've always said that somehow we can have our cake and eat it. We can have both of these things. The Chinese strategy has been essentially to separate the US from its alliance partners.
And because of AUKUS, China will be keeping an even closer eye on the Australian Prime Minister's talks with Mr. Trump.
China sees AUKUS as an expression of Australia's growing alignment with America strategically. And that, of course, for China is worrying in that it sees this potential containment formation being designed in Washington but being rolled out across Asia.
In the final analysis, the potential sticking point of this meeting could be the Australian government's financial commitment and whether it's prepared to meet Washington's request for it to spend as much as 3.5% of its GDP on defence.
The Prime Minister will want assurances about AUKUS. That's very central to Australia. The President, for his part, I think will want to be reassured that Australia is willing to pay what is needed for defence.
Whatever the outcome of these talks between the Australian Prime Minister and President Trump, its significance cannot be underestimated, either by further cementing the two nations' ties or by raising questions about the United States strategy in the Indo-Pacific. Maynard, CNA, Canberra.